Hey everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. So today's project, there's a couple of different reasons it's got moved to the front. It was gonna be one I filmed a little bit later, I posted a little bit later. There's a couple of reasons I'm doing it. One, if you're in the penguin class, we do have a 3x3 acetate little project that you'll be getting, and I didn't really want to post this until after you had your thing. In your class packet, of course, all your stuff's cut to size. This is going to show you how to cut a full sheet of cardstock and use it to create your projects. So you'll want to watch that part, but if you're in the penguin class, it's already cut, but this will show you how to do it in the future. And then second, I'm using the Halloween suite. So I was gonna also push it a little bit more into September, except it's on low inventory. And if you're thinking, I might get this to do some Halloween projects, you better snag it now. The punch and the gingham ribbon both show on low inventory. And if the punch would go on back order, there's a chance that you would not get it in time for Halloween or super close to Halloween. So I just wanted to bring it to the forefront and let you know. So if you ordered from me last month and you ordered $100 or more on kickoff day, you're getting a spool of ribbon. The packages are almost ready to go out. And if you ordered $50 and above, your VIP video project uses this Halloween paper. I didn't use the punch, but you'll be able to see the paper, and once you get the paper and be like, oh, I really like this, and then find out it was on back order. So moved it up to the front of the line. So celebration ongoing through the end of September. If you need any of these catalogs, let me know. And the suite that I am using is the cute Halloween suite. I'm not using the paper on this, but if you're in the VIP video class, then you'll get some of the paper coming to you. So I'm going to use the stamp set, and then I'm going to use a lot. I'm using the stamp set, the stars, and the ribbon. You'll see the paper. It's super cute, and even if you don't do Halloween, there's a ton of ways that you can use just the pumpkin. You can use the cat. I've seen people do a lot of fun flowers with the ghost. So it's a set that lends itself to punch art really cutely. So here's the stamp set, and here's the punch, and the punch is what's on low inventory. So I'm going to show you this, and this is good for any time you want to make little note cards. I think these would be especially fun to send to your grandkids or put in your kids' lunchbox over the course of Halloween, even your husband, or set them up in your coworkers' desks. And the fun thing about this project is I'm going to show you 3 versions, but once you get going on it, there's literally countless versions that you can make. And because they're sweet little note cards, you can stick them wherever, and this is going to take such few supplies. You're going to be like, and if you're not in the penguin class, you can kind of get a feel for what we are doing when you see it. And then one more thing before I get going on it, my free gifts with purchase this month are the paper lattice, which is on this card. This card kind of covered it all, and Wink of Stella. You can see I've put the Stella on there, and my cloche class is registering right now, and this is part of the cloche class, not this project, but we'll use the cloche. This is Sweet Treats. We'll use that fun cloche 3D thing. I can't think of what it's called. So when you want to do note cards, what you want to do, because we want them to be 3x6, but we also want to have this nice long piece here. Open my arm up. I had to clean off my desk to be able to do this project because I am filming. We're going to Disney next week, so I'll be gone for a week. So I'm trying to get a whole bunch of stuff filmed, so it's all laying here. And like I said, this has just got moved to up in the rotation. So you want this to be 6 inches, and obviously it is 8.5. So we want to go this way first. So put this at your 6. I never hardly use this. I have a giant paper cutter, and that's what I use because see, all my stamps are taking up the room. So put this at your 6 inch right here, and then you'll be using this piece. It gives you a nice large piece that you could also use for things, or you could just make smaller note cards with it. So now we have, this is 11. So we just need to do them. This is why I like my big one better, because I can do it a little bit easier. So you want these to be 3. So we're making 3x3 square note cards. In the penguin class, we're filling the little 3x3 acetate box with them. So they all have some acetate boxes. And then we have 3x3 envelopes as well. So this all fits in there. And then 3. So you would do that. You can cut more than one sheet of paper on this, or if you have a guillotine type cutter, I can cut probably 4 pieces at the same time. And then my super duper cutter that I use for class, I could cut so many of these at one time. Hope that doesn't fall. So now we have a little piece of scrap here, and we have our 3 cards. So for every sheet, you're gonna get 3 note cards, and then you'll also have this larger piece that you could do a 2x4 and still make a little square, and these images are small enough, they'd be super cute on it, but we're gonna use these for stamping. So the other thing I'm gonna show you how to do is when you get a punch like this, a lot of times people just stamp one thing and then they're wasting their cardstock because they're trying to always fit it in here. So what you wanna do is you're gonna make a template. So I'm gonna slide this. This is our scrap piece that we just cut from the end. I'm gonna put right down here at the bottom and just punch those out. And then just take your scissors and trim that off. So this is gonna be our template, and those are too cute to waste, so we'll put one of those on a card in a minute. So then take your block and lay these on here. You gotta make sure that it's the way that the punch is going, so you can see it's that way. And then I've already done mine, so my stamps are out. So then you need to put these underneath. Okay, now you can see I've done it backwards because my stamps go this direction. So just lay them on here first. And you get your first one going, and this is gonna kind of set the tone for where the rest of them go. You just wanna make sure, see that's a little bit off the block. So just move it over a fraction. And depending on how many images are, you could go up a block size and not worry about it. So that's gonna punch there. Just kind of hold that on. Slide our cat under. And just kind of hold them up until you get them where you want them to be, because then you can still slide them over. So our cat's gonna go there. And then our pumpkin. And then once you think you have them, kind of move this around a little bit. And then you can push them down. And then just to make sure, I always like to kind of push this back in. But you can see now that those are all gonna cut exactly where we need them to cut. So and then you can save this, and I keep them in my stamp case so you don't have to make it every time. If you just slide that into this stamp case, then you have a template. So we're gonna go back to our long strip here, so we're not wasting any cardstock, still just working with this one white piece. I'm gonna stamp them. You wanna look at this. So you want your ghost and your pumpkin to be at the bottom. If you do it that way, then it's gonna go the wrong direction, which you can cut it. But if you're gonna do multiples of these, now you could work your whole way up this piece here. So stamp these. Super cute. I have a ton of stamps out because I'm making 3 different cards, and this would just be so much fun to kind of sit and play with. Now I based my colors that I pulled out from the paper. So let's grab our pumpkin. So it's a 2-step stamp. It's actually 3 or 4 steps by the time you have them all on. So let's put our pumpkin here. And hope I do good since my head's not over the top. So we have that. Then I did Freesia for the ghost. She's the sweetest little ghost. But like I said, I've seen several people do paisleys and flowers with this punch. So think outside the box. So there's our Freesia ghost. And then we have our cat, and I'm gonna go for Smoky Slate. You can also, I haven't mentioned it for quite some time, obviously, because I've had some people, we've discussed this. When you open your pads, if you have a hard time sliding them in and out, I just don't like to do it on videos because sometimes, you have to push them back in. If you notice, I hardly ever slide mine. So you can just open them. If closing them is an issue for you, just open them like normal and then just set them like this. And it will save you a ton of heartache in trying to shut them back because they're not all the way open. But they work just fine. Just leave them like this on your table. And got Smoky Slate for our cat. So then there are a ton of fun faces that we can use. I'm gonna try to move these out of the way when I'm finished with them so I don't come back to them because there are a ton of faces. And I am just gonna kind of go just grab my black pad again. And I'm just gonna go with the face that's on. So there's a couple of different pumpkin faces. I really like this one because she looks like she might have a little bit of sarcasm, which I love. But there's more than one pumpkin face. Here's one here, and it'll make an appearance in a minute. So I'm not done with that one. Then we have our cat. And you can mix and match the faces too. Nobody says that you have to do the face that comes with. Isn't she sweet? It'd be nice if my cats could make an appearance today since it's their stamp. And then here's the ghost. And you can do these after you punch them out if you like. I think it's a little bit easier when they're all still attached. You're working with a larger piece of paper than all those tiny ones. And then there is a little dot. And I think the dot is so you can recreate this paper. We are going to use a couple of small scraps. But I used it for some cheeks on my sweet little ghost. And this is flamingo, and I got it from the paper. And then I even put some cheeks on my little pumpkin. And then, trying to see if I'm done with them. Not done with that one, not done with that one. It's here, I think. I'm gonna use flamingo and do my cat's ears. So if you're a cat person, you will be able to use this little stamp all year round because she's super cute. So now she has a little bit of pink in her ears. So that is the stamping for this. So now you can see how easy this is. You just pull this over, slide them in, and look, they're right exactly where they need to go. And then with one punch, you have 3 images. And if you want, if you're making, you're making a lot of these, just go all the way up your thing and then stamp them all at the same time so you don't have to keep getting the colors out. Just keep doing it and move up till you've used this whole sheet because it's exactly the right size for this punch. Now let's make our little card. So let's start with, these are our little strips that we cut. And I do find it's easier for these to get a good crease to use your bone folder. So that way they kind of stay shut. Then let's go to, I'll just pick up a stamp and whatever's on it, I'll do that one. So this one says, "Hey Boo." I'm gonna stamp it in black. And this is where you can just go to town and you can put on whatever you want. So there's the little "Hey Boo." And then we have a tiny little spider. And just for funsies, I'm going to do my spider in flamingo because who says that Halloween spiders have to be a scary color? This is not any kind of scary Halloween set. It's got our little spider. And then for this one, I am going to take, these are just scraps that are left from when I did my VIP videos. So I'm just going to stick this here. And you can see the other side's super cute too. You can color those in if you want the candy colored. Ours is going to get flipped. Put that there. And then I just have scraps of ribbon. So here's the gingham. Because the idea behind these is they're not necessarily works of art, although your children would have tons of fun creating with you. And then you could stick them in or send them to friends. And then grab my little ghost. Put her here. And then I'm gonna add stars and final touches to all of them, but when I do assembly line, I kind of like to get all the stamping out of the way so I can move my stamps. So let's fold these 2, then I can move my bone folder. So for every sheet, remember you're getting 3, but all of our scrap that I'm working with is coming from the same sheet. So now I'm done with that. Okay, let's do my grays here. There's several different candy corns in this one. This is a group of candy corns, but I want to put my words on first so they don't get covered up by candy corns. So this says "Treat Yourself." This would be fun to put with a gift card or just some Halloween candy. So treat yourself, done with that one. And then I'm gonna do my candy corns on this one in the Smoky Slate. I'm just gonna fill up the whole thing. So those are all filled in. So now let's grab our little punch outs that I should have done these at the beginning that we have. These are from the thing when I punched the template out. So go back to my black pad and find their faces. So here's the kitty face. And then we have the other pumpkin head, the other pumpkin smile. And I think there might be one more. And there is the ghost. I didn't use the ghost at all because not the ghost, the skull, because it didn't go in the punch, but that's in there as well. And then get our little ghost over here. And because I'm not using it, I mean, with the, I can't talk this morning, with the ghost, you can use her going this way or the other way. If you do it straight from the punch and you've done the colors, then you have to do it that direction. So now I'm just gonna take these and add them on here. And then because my cat is the one that is gray, I'm gonna put her on here. Look, I've almost used up a whole sheet of these. Isn't that always a happy day when you can finally throw one of those out? Stick her there, and then we'll move this out of the way. We're coming back to all of them because they're not quite finished. And then this one, I am going to do, I'm going to take this little scrap. Remember, we had this one that I said you could make smaller cards out of. That's a little bit 2 inches-ish. I am just going to hand trim, because these are note cards. I don't feel like I need to spend a bunch of time die cutting or making anything super fancy, but then I just have a little panel here. And again, just same out of the scrap. Then I'm gonna take pumpkin pie and my individual candy corn. There is a leaf. I'm trying to think, there's several things that I didn't use in the set, so make sure you check the set out. And then I am just gonna stamp in pumpkin pie. I don't need to do the very center of this because I know that's gonna go in there, but you do wanna get up in there so you have some of them kind of peeking out. And you can kind of lay this on here, and you can see I can still go those directions with it. You also want to make sure that you're turning it so they're all not going the exact same way, because then it looks like you tried to make a pattern and without making a real pattern, then it just looks crooked. So now let's put that on there. It's pretty good. I'm going to try to get this one in because I didn't stamp that one very well. It's the wonderful thing about photopolymer, isn't it, that you can fix those mistakes. Now, I've thought about leaving it, but I did want to show you if you want to use these candy corns or these larger ones and do a candy corn tag or something to go with a treat. Just take, this is my dark daffodil blend, but you could use the marker if you want. And I'm just going to add the little stripe of the yellow. Just takes a second. And we have those filled in. So for this one, there is a stamp that says, You Put a Smile on My Face, which is fun for the pumpkin. And again, you could use this all year round. You can use You Put a Smile on My Face on all kinds of note cards all year round. It doesn't have to be for this. Grab another little piece of scrap. For this one, I'm going to use my seal, and I'm just going to add a little bit of ribbon behind here. Because again, note cards, keep it all small. Keep it the size that kind of fits this overall scale of the card. You don't want a giant piece of ribbon on a tiny little note card. So got that. Add this here. Oh look, I can use the last of this and throw that away. And those edges work perfect on little things. I just pre-slice them all, so I just go through and start slicing. Move this one over. Maybe I didn't stick it. My ribbon's a little bit more in the center. My first piece of this I cut a little bit larger. So now we've got that. So let's grab these all back. And there's two things I want to do to them. One, we just want to add a little bit of sparkle, and this is much faster if you do all your note cards and do these kind of steps together. So I just have my Wink of Stella, which you can get free with purchase from me this month. So go to the website and check out those details. And I'm just going to put the Stella on our highlighted images. So then they just have a little bit of sparkle to them. And then the cute stars, if you purchased from me and you ordered $50 or more last month, these are in your packet with your VIP video, so you'll be getting a full sheet of these. And then I'm just going to add 3 to each one. Now look, it looks like she should be holding something. So I'm going to have her hold a star. On the paper, she's actually holding a little goodie, like a Halloween treat bag. So put those on there, and then I just have a flare tip pen. You just stick so he doesn't get lost. I'm gonna give him 2 little eyes, and so he doesn't look like he's floating in air. Just give him his little, I don't even know what those are called. So he's coming down from his web. I guess it's a piece of web. So got that one. And then let's go to this one. This one, I think that needs just that little pop of color, and it kind of pulls in her ears, even though these, maybe, I think they're pumpkin. They might be flamingo, I don't know what color, but you can see this little pop of pink right here is gonna pull her ear color into it, because this is kind of a monochromatic card without being all the way monochromatic. So that one's done. See, it's much faster to not do each of these individually. And then this one, I'm just going to add 1 star, because there's kind of, no, maybe not. Do that one. This is a little bit smaller than my other one. The other one I barely took off the edges, so it has a bit more space for this, but we'll make them fit. There we go. And now you can see with all of the different backgrounds, all of the different faces, how quickly you can put these together. So in this one, she's holding a smaller of the little stars. This one looks pretty much the same, except this time, this sheet of stars, you can see I just opened a new one, was out of the that color. And here, this one's just a little bit larger. But there you go. That's how you get all those sweet cards from 1 sheet of cardstock, how you make a template. But remember, if you want this, I would not wait, because by the time this gets posted, and these showed up on low inventory yesterday, I know they may have been on before that, and I just noticed because I was looking at stuff for my classes. So don't wait if you want the punch. You could make it work without the punch. You can always just hand trim out, because the skull doesn't even have one. But I don't want you to miss it if you had it on your list for later. Plus, if you get it now, you get free celebration stuff, and you get my thank you gifts, which are the the Stella or the lattice, and all those details are on my website. Everybody have a great day. Bye.